Hi, starting today, I'm starting a new series on this channel, which is your weekly Innerscopes. These are your good old horoscopes, but with a little bit of twist. What I like to do is I like to go a little bit deeper to give you an understanding of how you can make the best use of your week. So I keep it a little bit less predictive, sometimes more guidance based, but if a prediction comes along, I do share it with you. Whatever you're going to be seeing for each of the signs, the same is there also on my Instagram. But I thought it would be nice to bring this in a video format for the YouTube audience. Now, how do you go about knowing which sign should you look for? So these are based on zodiacs. And you could have that zodiac or that sign as your sun sign by Western astrology, as your moon sign by your Vedic astrology, or as your ascendant or rising sign by your astrology. So you can pick any sign that you feel you resonate with most, sun, moon, or rising. I already have the horoscopes written, which I've just recently published on my Instagram page, which you can, by the way, go follow here. And now I'm going to be reading the same horoscopes for each of the signs that we have here. So I'm going to be starting first with Aries. So if you identify with Aries being your sun sign because you're born on those dates, or your moon sign because it's in the first house in your moon chart, or your rising and ascendant sign because it's in the first house in your natal chart, then this reading is for you. You might be given to lead something, or you may have to work a lot more diplomatically this week when it comes to dealing with your colleagues and your superiors. You will manage it well. However, just stay guarded a bit. Keep things moving slow. Do not be in a rush to complete something. You might also have to work a little bit alone. You might have to balance that, okay, how do you show teamwork, but at the same time being able to manage things alone. So that little bit of balancing would be required on the work front. Personally, I feel that, there could be a lot of internal conflict that you might be going through within this week. It could also be somewhat a conflict or a debate or a discussion in your social group. Nothing to worry, but it might be just enough to keep you a little bit annoyed or irritated through the week. Generally, you might experience a lot of thoughts of elevating in life. You might be occupied by thinking, how do I grow? How do I change my life? How do I elevate? And hence, this might just put more mental strain on you, which might be more bothersome. And one advice that is there is that this week, just sit down to connect with the divine, the higher up aboves, to meditate. You need to sit down to connect with God. And if you have been trying to dabble into spirituality, this is a good week. It will give you positive results. And generally, it feels like, people under this zodiac could be moving to a newer phase of life. And hence, they are being suggested to even more strongly connect with the divine right now because it will help you. Now let's move to Pisces. If again Pisces is your sun sign, moon sign, or your rising and ascendant sign, then this reading is for you. So honestly, it's going to be a wonderful little week for you. There is some good news which will be huge, and it might also change your perspective on life for a little bit of a period, a little bit of time. And honestly, you'll be quite pleasantly surprised with how universe does listen. If you were having doubts up until now that is universe even listening to me? Does this even work? Now you would start feeling confident in the fact that no, there is somebody really there who's looking out for me. But also, it would be difficult for you to manage your responsibilities and your life, work a little bit this week. This is something you might want to be careful of. And also, this means that this is not the period where you can get tired. You would have to be on your toes and you should be prepared for it. So ensure that the supplements and everything in place so that you are active. Someone might be trying to reach out to you. They might be coming to you with a teensy romantic interest, like a cup of love. For many, it could also be actually arranged marriage. The advice here is that allow and accept, and you don't know it yet. but you have actually moved to a new phase of life. It's like, you jumped the timelines and you have moved to a different phase of life right now. And that's why this week onwards, a certain period of your life would actually be spent in just being merry and happy. So it's a cute little week. Let's move on to Taurus now. And again, sun sign, moon sign, rising or ascendant Taurus, this reading is for you. So there is some relationship in your life. Either it is very much present and real right now in your life, or it could be in your head. It could be somebody from past. The advice from the cards is that this relationship is not moving forward. Maybe you've been thinking a lot about this relationship, or if you are in a relationship right now, you may be setting expectations now. Just so you know, the cards are saying that it isn't moving forward, so just cut it out and see for what the relationship is, not what it could have been or what you want to make out it to be. There's also another great opportunity that's going to come your way, a financial opportunity. So it is suggested to grab it. It could be like a new idea, a new course that you want to learn, promotion, something there could also be at your existing job. And although this could also have been something that you worked on previously, like a sales pitch, a project, and all this is turning victorious now. You might just have to be diligent and alert enough to ensure that you grab this opportunity. You're going to be generally content all through the week and also a little bit proud of yourself. You'll be happy with yourself. There's one thing though which subconsciously might be bothering you, and that is both the worries of money, because the question in your mind is, I just want to quadruple it. I just want to grow it to an extent that, where I'm just able to take care of all my financial responsibilities, have enough in savings also. And the other worry is a little bit feeling dejected on the romance and love front. Is this all worrisome? No. Like these worries, are they as big? Actually, no. And the cards advise that it's better you just stay in the present. Let's move on to Gemini now. So again, ascendant, rising, or sun sign Gemini, this reading is for you. So why do you always rush to be where you want to be? To achieve what you have to desire and to control things was one of the first messages that I got from the cards. The cards were suggesting that please just chill. And sometimes people start a project with enthusiasm or a relationship with enthusiasm, and they forget that, even if they have started it with enthusiasm, things will show the rewards only in its natural time. And sometimes once you start something with enthusiasm, you can also lose interest midway a lot more quickly too. So this is just a little ambiguous message that came in the cards, that no matter how much enthusiasm and excitement and speed with which you start things, it doesn't matter, because things have their natural way of turning around, of taking its own shape and form, showing the rewards. So it's okay to be patient. Then the next thing that we had here was that, there's some relationship or dynamic, like a personal dynamic, friendship, etc., that could be ending in your life or could be transforming completely, moving on from here. Either a chapter is going to be closed, or in the same relationship, a new door is going to open. So it's completely either about that, okay, now this dynamic is either calm or it doesn't exist and we are moving on. So that might be something that you might experience this week. Now, people around you, especially the ones who are of the same age group, are not maybe the right people to give you guidance, or not the people that you should be aspiring, taking aspiration or inspiration from, or taking mentorship from. So just stay in awareness of what you desire, what you want to create, what is your reality. Okay. And for very few, there was a little bit of this message that either your spa appointment is much due, you might want to take that spa or salon appointment, or there is some discount opportunity or coupon that could be expiring soon. So for whoever this is, I hope just claim this in the comments. Okay, now moving on to Cancerian, sun sign, moon sign, or ascendant or rising sign. So some of you could be moving out of your existing place for either studies, job. For some, it could also be maybe kind of like being in a personal relationship which requires you to travel back and forth. So generally, if you are moving out for a longer period from your current place, then don't worry, it's all going to be fine. Some could simply be traveling this week. Generally, it's a very beautiful week for Cancerians. There's a lot of progress that is happening in this week, both at a personal level. However, it would keep you very much in need of being on your toes, being very super active. But generally, a lot of joy and happiness is going to be there for you in the week. If you're generally questioning about how to grow your moolah, then now is the time. You might want to bring on board a planner or a financial coach to help you in being more prudent. Some of you may have already done this, and things will start progressing with them this week now. Some could be expecting some good news, which is you could have an addition in your family. And for many, it'll all feel fine for those who are single, but then you will question, but where is love in my life? And yes, this is an answer we don't know yet. This is just something you'll have to stay with in this week. Moving on now to Leo. So with Leos, the message that I got was that someone is having difficulties in vibing with people and they're unable to express themselves freely, or they feel very judged when they express themselves freely. And this is where, I would also like to say, trust me, at a personal level, I feel you. For all those who are married, there could be some disconnects with partner or some miscommunication that might become a little bit of a bother. Nothing big, but it might bug you. And for singles, what I heard was that I don't think it'll ever happen for me. I just want some sign. Is there somebody out there for me? That might be like a pertinent thought in your mind this week. And for few, I did get this message that there is an arranged marriage proposal that could be coming your way or is literally getting finalized this week on. Many of you could also be disturbed because of your finances and material security. You might be thinking about how to lead on life from here on. What is it that you should be doing? Yesterday or on 9th November, if you scan through my channel and find this reading later, I put up a reading about what you need to know right now. You might want to check out pile 3 in that. The cards are suggesting that what you need is to move to a new mindset, newer terrains, be more adventurous, discover yourself more, and enable yourself to discover yourself more. And then things will just start falling in place for you. This week, focus on the good. It is not as bad as your thoughts are making them out to be. Now, Virgo, sun, moon, rising, or ascendant. So they're completely two different messages that I got for Virgo. First being that one group is feeling so joyful, happy, and connected. They might be reconnecting with people from their past, their family, and it's just great times with either family or spouse or their friends. You are very happy. It's going to be a celebratory week for many of you, and it seems like a lot of good things are going to come together for you across domains. So it will not be just limited to your personal dynamics. Some could also be leaving their family home and traveling to some other city, or leaving their family home to travel to their own home now. Now, the other message that I had for Virgos, completely different group, is that this group is so tired of being alone and they're feeling very grim. They're not happy. And they keep awaiting this new phase in life, this new phase in love. They keep thinking that, is there somebody from the past that I want to reconnect with? Should I? Your mind wants to keep you chained to the past. But towards the end of the week, I think around 16th or 15th, end of the day, or over the weekend, you would start feeling better. General advice for both the groups that we had here was that go out to nature, bring flowers home, do something to do with nature. The next sign that we have is Scorpio, sun, moon, rising, or ascendant. So some of you could be either wanting to go back to studies or might discover something new about learning or educating yourself more on a certain topic. Some of you might think about upskilling this week, and trust me, you're going to love it. So just go ahead. There's a lot of little things this week that are going to happen for you, and there might be a lot of little things that you might have to manage also this week. So it will feel very rewarding or energizing and engaging to you. Some of you could also be busy in planning a wedding or a celebration. It could be yours also. And although it will be tiring, but it will be very, very nice. It will feel joyful. So beware of though moving out of your budget when it comes to all the shopping expenses or whatever it is that you're going to do this week. Make sure that you're practical. There's going to be good relationships with your spouse, friends, and family. A lot of the things are going to make your heart flutter this week. And you might also, be learning to accept things from a new lens, which is now helping you. You might have worked on yourself to see things from a different perspective, and somehow you see the fruits of that now this week onwards. There's an advice that if you could visit a holy place, it would be very helpful, especially if you could visit a holy place in gratitude. Next sign, we have the Librans. Again, sun, moon, rising, or ascendant. A lot of back and forth on some idea or like business, career, life, some decision is going to keep you very, very bugged. And you kind of want to be handheld. You feel like, oh, I want like a lot of support. I need more money. But unfortunately, the circumstances are such that life wants you to be independent and take charge and you to drive yourself first. So take this period as a period of transformation and make a move for the big goals. A travel plan could also be foreseen or, some adventure which is fun. Uh, Generally, this adventure could also be just the adventure of your life. Take bold risks, take the leap of faith. A thing which is concerning though is that some teensy heartbreak or sad moment might be on its way to you. It could be like a ghosting situation or a sudden fight with somebody which kind of got amplified and you had no idea that it would become this big, and something which is not going to feel great to you in the week. For married folks, could be like a temporary setback in your relationship. uh, Chill, let it pass. Nobody has died because of a conflict. And be your own confidant and companion first. Give yourself the comfort first, is the advice that I'm getting for youth for this week. Now we have the Sagittarius. So again, sun, moon, rising, ascendant. If you have some money or some payment which had been stuck for a long, it's getting released, and you might actually feel like celebrating. It'll feel like a big victory. This is a wonderful little week. Almost feels a little festive for many of you. There could be some event at home. Again, a wedding, your own wedding, birthday, or housewarming, and doing all the preps for it will keep you again joyful and engaged. There's also a shift in dynamics with people around. Things are becoming a lot more calmer, easier, joyful. The message is very similar to what I had as a message for people who were Scorpions. But there's one advice that just tame your frustration, your annoyance, or your sorrow, or your grief a little bit, like the dark emotions. Keep them tamed. Don't ignore them, but taming them would be nice for you because sometimes they make stress bigger than what it really is. Because overall, it's a good week for you. Now we have my Capricorn. So if your sun sign, moon sign, or rising sign, ascendant sign is a Capricorn, then this is for you. Last week's horoscope on my Instagram mentioned a movie called Met My Friend. That was a repeat message this week also. Some of you need to go and watch that movie. It's a South Indian movie. I think it is in Tamil. You might want to find it with English subtitles and it might really help you. What's happening this week? Your own mind and your own thoughts are going to be keeping you very busy, very occupied, conflicted, and bugged. A lot of overthinking. But why is that happening? Because you need a break. You could be overworked, you could be saturated. And that's why, there's just a need of a little bit more fun, some travel, some break in your life. You may not be able to do it immediately because maybe financially it's not going to be very feasible for you to plan something through this week or maybe even in the next week. But what you do need is definitely a break. And also maybe some right people around you, some right friends where your values align. That might also be a good decompressing for you, just having like the right people around you. There's also somewhat a change happening in your romantic life. If you're married, the passion, the love is reigniting. If you're single, you are becoming curious again to go out and mingle, to know what's out there in the world. Uh, Overall, though, I feel that, in this week, you might just have this constant thought that you're so tired of like being the sole bearer of responsibilities, chores, or your career. And while, yes, that is adulting, but the cards advise that it's okay to accept that it is tiring and it's okay to say so too. Now, moving on to the last zodiac that we have here, which is Aquarius. And again, sun sign, moon sign, rising or ascendant. This is your reading for this week. So I see a lot of growth that's going to happen this week collectively, either as a family or as a couple. You might hear even other family members getting some good news. And this might be a huge turning point overall in the family, in the relationships, or with your spouse. For those who are single, you could be finding a much more stronger footing on the work front, and you will kind of unlock that what is a niche or an expertise you do really well in, or how you need to be pivoting your career. And honestly, it's a very fabulous energy that the cards had. If there's some money, some payment which is due, it might be cleared this week. And you might also start planning for some travel in the later weeks, or you might be traveling right now. So generally, a lot of little things, planning little things will keep you positively busy. But there's one thing which is a bit concerning, which is the confusion and the responsibilities all through the week will create a mayhem. So there might be a lot of tiny, tiny things to manage, tiny decisions. They require you to be swift, to be quick with your decision making. And that's why I can almost visualize that, there would be few days when you would come home and you would want to either keep a silent fast or just sit with yourself, journal to decompress. If not, this is also an advice that when you come home, find that window of some silent time to be with yourself, your thoughts, put them out on a journal so that you're ready for the next day again.